Good morning, everyone. It is a pleasure to be here among you. And thank you so much to District 20 family for giving me this opportunity. My name is Mubarak Ibrahim Nas, and I am your trainer today. I held the position of Sergeant at Arms before, and currently I'm holding the Area Director of Area 34. I am also the President of Active Minds Toastmasters Club, as well as the Sergeant at Arms of Zain Bahrain Toastmasters Club. It is a pleasure to be here, and thank you so much for joining. Allow me to mention that this course or this session might be new to some who are holding the role for the first time, but it will act as a refresher for those who held the secretary role before. Please note, to mark your attendance and to get the DCP point, there will be a link which will be shared at the end of the session in the chat. And using that link, you can register your attendance. I'll remind you about the link once I see it posted in the chat. Let's begin by giving you all a big round of applause. Congratulations. Congratulations on your election to be the secretary for this term. So holding this role, you will learn many skills. Some of them are active listening skill, critical thinking, and documentation. You will be documenting a lot of the minutes of the meetings and all the ExCom meetings as well. I'll share with you across this course or this session in the chat all the documents which I found useful in Toastmaster International Portal. I will also share with you the links that can be used by you to download and learn more about the secretary role. Let me tell you, as a secretary, you maintain the club's written history so that the future club officers will have the important information and important lessons learned gathered throughout the term. Here is the agenda for today's session. I call it the 3 R's of the secretary role. So we will learn more about the secretary role, the responsibilities of the secretary, the resources that can be used by the secretary. The session objective. We will identify the roles, we will fulfill the responsibilities, and we will find the resources. Let me tell you, or let me ask, what are the responsibilities of the secretary? What do you think are the responsibilities of the secretary? Please unmute and share your thought. What are the responsibilities?
Minutes of the meetings.
Excellent. Prepare the minutes of the meeting. Who else is on?
Yeah, document all the minutes of the meetings as and when required in an orderly manner. As you said, from the ExCom meetings or the club meetings, etc.
Excellent, excellent. This is a very, very important task and responsibility, documenting the minutes of meeting. Allow me also to ask, has anybody done the secretary role before, or are we all new to this role? I can see Claire did it before.
For me, it's the first time.
For me, it's new, sir. It's first time.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. So I think we will make use of the experience of Claire. She already did it before, and we will also be sharing with you new tools that can enhance your role and make it easy for this term. Let me tell you that all the answers which are shared are correct. Of course, minutes of meeting, taking notes, maintaining the files, and I'm not sure if you knew that the base camp you have access as a secretary to the base camp. It is not your main role, but you help the vice president of education to go there and approve the learning awards for the members. So these are the main responsibilities. We will know more about them in the coming slide. Allow me to repeat that a link for the attendance, to mark your attendance and get the DCP for your club, will be shared in the chat later on. The club mission, as we all know, we provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Yes, as a secretary, you do support the club in achieving the club's mission by fulfilling those responsibilities which we just mentioned. Moving on to the next slide. Well, these are some of many skills that you can get as a secretary. One of them is the organization and problem solving. The other, as we discussed, record maintenance or recording in general of all the documentation, critical thinking, meeting organization, document decisions agreed to at meetings, and communication. Actually, this point is none other than all the motions that are raised during the ExCom meeting or during the normal club's meeting should be recorded. And by doing that, you will understand more about the parliamentary procedures. These are some of many skills. I didn't mention the active listening part, and there are many, many more skills that can be achieved as a secretary. The secretary responsibilities, they are segregated to the club meeting. Some of the responsibilities are related to the club meeting. Some of them are related to outside the club, and some are related to the ExCom committee. I'll share more about them. Beginning first with the club meeting. So as a secretary, before the club meeting begins, what do you think you should do as a club, as a secretary before the club meeting? Let me answer that question. So before the club meeting, you actually post the previous minutes. So if you have been in this role since July, and you have the previous meetings, minutes of meeting, you should post them before the club meeting. Also, you prepare the list of action points, the agenda of the meeting to be discussed by the president, and you share it to the president. There is a critical point, and this is a very important point. It is updating the club's officers list. Please mark your calendar. Before 30th of June, every year, you need to update in Toastmaster International portal the updated or the new ExCom officers list. To do that, I have mentioned the location in the Toastmaster International site. You just go to Club Central, you choose your club, and then you choose your club officer assignment. These are the locations where you can click and reach the place where you can update the club's officers list. Doing this on time before the 30th of June can gain a DCP for your club. So these are the responsibilities of the secretary that should be done before the club's meeting. One of them as well is notifying the club president of education award. There is also ensure a member's club conduct presentation from the successful club series. For this, honestly, I downloaded it because I couldn't, I thought maybe if I share it here, it will be easier. So let me just drop it in chat. This is the success, hold on, I'm trying to, yes. Yeah. So I'm just sharing it in chat. The successful club series, it is a zip file. You can download it. I downloaded it from a Toastmaster International site. And for your ease, I just shared it here. I will share another file, which is actually it is the Club Leadership Handbook, the Club Leadership Handbook. This file will help you also to understand more about the secretary role, as well as all the other XCOM roles in general. Please have a look, and you can download it and go through it after the session. Upon arrival at the club meeting, there is an important responsibility that needs to be done by you as a secretary. It is circulating the attendance sheet and the guest book. Circulating the attendance sheet and the guest book. Here is a snapshot of the attendance sheet. It is from Toastmaster International portal. This is the URL, and I have it, I downloaded it. I will share it just after we complete the session for you also to benefit. This is a template of it. You just need to fulfill the full name, it's a member or a guest, date of visit, the email, ID, the phone number. Allow me to ask, why do you think it is important to fill in this attendance sheet? What can you benefit from?
Current contact information.
Exactly. Thank you so much. So you will get the contact information of the potential members to be. If guests visit your club, you can get them to sign the attendance sheet, and you can follow up with them, perhaps to attend future meetings and hopefully potentially being members of your club. The other advantage, in my experience, which we honestly follow in our club, is to mark the attendance of the actual existing members. So who is continually attending the meetings of our club and who is not attending the meetings of the club. So the member who is not attending the meetings of the club, we do an action plan for him or her. We follow up. What is the reason? What is the challenge for not attending consequently the meeting? Is it the time of the meeting? Is it the date of the meeting? How can we help to make the member attend more the meeting? So it is a very important tool that can gauge the attendance of the meetings, and based on it, you can put an action plan to either increase the attendance or potentially get new members out of the guests. Is there any question so far? Please feel free to interrupt me anytime and to share any concern, any question you like to be answered. The other responsibility is during the club's meeting. It is the same point which we discussed, recording the previous minutes of meeting and recording the current minutes of meeting. These are some of the points or some of the, let's say, fields that can be filled in the minutes of meeting. There is also a template for the minutes of meeting from Toastmaster International site. I have provided the link here. Also, I have downloaded it, and I will share it after the session completes. for your ease to download. These are a few of the values to be entered: the club name, the date, type of the meeting, meeting location, and most importantly, the main points of any debate or discussion. Outside the club meeting. So outside the club meeting, as a secretary, you also have responsibilities. These responsibilities are, some of them can be maintain an accurate roster. This is none other than keeping track of the list of existing members. You can get this list from Toastmaster International portal under Club Central. You submit the club officers list, and as discussed, you as a secretary, you have the privilege and responsibility to gain a DCP point for your club by submitting the existing or the incoming club officers list before the 30th of June next year, so that your club can achieve a DCP point. You handle correspondence. By handling correspondence, what is meant here, for example, you know, the PQD awards, you know, the Club Growth Awards, CGD awards, and those different awards which are shared by the district leaders. You as a secretary can send those evidences, send those emails to the respective district leader. For example, PQD will send to the PQD email ID in order for your club to achieve those awards. You keep the club files. So basically, if it is a physical file, you will keep them in a physical folder. If it is a digital, you will keep them in OneDrive, etc. It is a very important point to keep the club files in a systematic, structured manner, because next term you will hand over, you will pass on this responsibility to the incoming secretary next term. And for them to continue your legacy, they need these club files. So helping them by making all the files arranged in a structured manner will be a great achievement, and it will make their responsibility next term easier. Of course, your responsibility outside the club meeting is to attend the club executive committee meetings. I'm not sure if you are aware that just in August, there was the annual business meeting. And you, as a secretary, you had the privilege and responsibility to appoint a proxy or attend. Anybody who is having a question, please unmute yourself. If you don't have a question, please keep yourself muted. Thank you. So continuing with the point, the annual business meeting, you need to appoint a proxy, and this was past August. You as a secretary, you have the privilege and responsibility to attend the meeting, the annual business meeting, or appoint a proxy for your club. Two can do it, the president of the club and you as a secretary. So this is the point: international business meeting, facilitate members' progress in Basecamp. Here you can support the VPE, the Vice President of Education, to access the Basecamp as a Basecamp manager and approve the learning progression of the members. Arrange for your replacement or assistance if unable to attend meetings. Maybe you are on leave, or maybe you have a commitment and you cannot attend the ExCom meeting, or you cannot attend the Toastmaster meeting. Here you need to arrange for a potential member to take on the secretary role and give you the handover after the meeting by recording the minutes of the meeting. This is a very important point as well, because you need to prepare a successor for your office. You need to prepare a successor for this secretary role for next term. So having anyone from the members, from the club members who is interested to take on this role and giving them some of these responsibilities, it will make them encouraged to take it and have it done or have this role taken in next term. Allow me to ask if there are any questions, any clarification needed so far. Thank you. Allow me to repeat that there is a link which will be shared in the chat. This link should be used to mark your attendance in order for the club, your club, to get the DCP. I will also share all the files which I downloaded from Toastmaster International site in the chat for you to download. Moving on to the executive committee. So as a secretary, you have a role in the ExCom. The ExCom is the executive committee. And there you will take on the responsibility of reading the previous minutes of meeting and recording the current minutes of meeting. I have shared previously a sample of the link where you can download the minutes of meeting template. I will share it also in chat. There are certain fields that you need to fill as a standard. You can follow that template. How to fulfill the secretary responsibility? How, when, who, what? When I first saw this slide is given to me from the District 20 leaders. And honestly, when I saw this, I was immediately thinking of the action plan. So as we discussed, we have certain responsibilities as a secretary. Let's take the minutes of meeting. So if I am the secretary, I will ask myself, how will I fulfill this responsibility of maintaining the minutes of meeting? I will identify that I need to attend the meeting, to attend the ExCom meeting, to attend the normal meeting, and also I will need to prepare the templates of the minutes of meeting. When will each action be completed? I will identify that I need to do this task before I will do this task in the ExCom meeting and in the Toastmaster meeting. Who is available to help me in doing this task, in capturing the minutes of meeting? Here, it depends. If your minutes of meeting is paper, it's written on a paper, then here you will just need to print it. But if it is a digital one, then maybe you will seek the support of fellow ExCom members to make it into a Google Sheet if you need support in that. If it is done digital, maybe you'll identify that you need a Google account, etc. What materials and resources can you use? It depends. So basically, these are the steps that you can take and ask yourself across those responsibilities which we have identified. And the beauty, I think, of these questions, if you ask them across each responsibility, is you will identify the gap. You will identify the gap where you will need support. For example, one of the responsibilities is assigning the proxy in the annual business meeting. Maybe me as a secretary, I'm not sure where to go in how to do it. I don't know. So here, if I identify, I will seek help before the task is needed, etc. So these are nice steps. I encourage you to take them offline and ask yourself these questions across all the responsibilities which we are discussing now. Secretary resources. These are the checklists. These are the points that you, as a secretary, need to do. These are the most important, you can say, the summary. These are the most important points that need to be done. So the first, you are actually doing it. You are attending the district-sponsored club officers training. And by doing this, you are helping in contributing to the club's mission. Yes, the club's mission to be a distinguished club and be enrolled in the distinguished club program. So by doing this, attending this training, you are having that checked. Reading the materials. I have shared a few materials in the chat. I will share the remaining shortly. Meet with outgoing ExCom committee. So if you are right now, you are the new or you are the incoming secretary, you can meet with the outgoing, the previous secretary. The reason for that is you can take all the files, take all the locations where those files are stored. If it is online, maybe they can share with you the location of the online storage and you can build on it. You can get the previous challenges, previous attendance sheet, who were the guests before, Why? Because you can convert them into potential members or invite them to the upcoming meetings. So it is important to meet with the outgoing secretary. Of course, meet with the current ExCom committee to go through all the responsibilities which we have mentioned, the minutes of meeting, preparing the agenda for the president, and preparing the action points, all those responsibilities which we have discussed. Confirm submission of the newly elected officers list. Allow me to stress again on the importance of this point, to be done before the 30th of June in 2024, next year. The reason for this is you will contribute towards the DCP point of your club. So it is very important to mark your calendar for this point to be done. Uploading or sharing the new incoming ExCom list in Toastmaster International site. Part of this presentation I have mentioned it. To do this, you need to go to the club central, and over there choose your club, and then you will see a place where you, or an option where you update the members. Review and order any needed materials. Actually, here it depends. By this point, we mean all, the ribbons, the best speaker ribbon, the best table topic ribbon, all those resources that you use during the meeting to award the members. Those are actually should be tracked by you as a secretary. However, some of the clubs have their treasury or treasurer do this task. So it depends. But either way, you need to align and sync with the treasurer that if they will do this task, they will take the lead. Otherwise, it will be your responsibility to mark all the resources, like the ribbons which are distributed, the awards that are distributed. You need to mark them and have an inventory for them. This is one of the responsibilities of you as a secretary. We reached the end of our session. These are the resources which is shared. You can click on them, or after the meeting, I'll share with you the links. Also, now what I will do, I will share all the materials. I downloaded them. I'll share with you in the chat. So you can just download them as ease of use and you can go through them. Allow me to open the floor to ask if there is any questions.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mubarak, for the wonderful presentation. it really helped us give an idea on the role that we're supposed to play for this upcoming year. One request I would like to ask from you is if you could please share the presentation with us.
Sure,
Yeah.
I will do.
I don't know how that will happen, either by email or through the club office, however the way, I mean, you want us to take it from some group or something like that, just let me.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, ma'am. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm really happy for this feedback, and for sure, I'll take a mental note of it. I'll just align with the PQD on the method to share the presentation because I'm not the owner. So allow me just to confirm with them, and for sure, I will share it. But what I can do now is I will share all the files, all the files that are downloaded, the links that are in the presentation. I have shared two files which I thought are important. I will also share the secretary letter. This is actually from Toastmaster International site. Please don't leave the meeting. There is a attendance link that will be shared shortly, and you need to fill that attendance link to get to the DCP. So please stay with us for 5 more minutes. I just shared the secretary letter. It summarizes the responsibilities. I will share also now the club minutes meeting, a template. You can use this to fill in the club minutes of meeting. All these are from Toastmaster International site. They are not owned by me in any way or form. I just downloaded and thought of sharing in the chat to make it easy. No need to go and click on the link. The last PDF which I am sharing is actually the attendance sheet, and you can use it to mark the attendance of both the members as well as the guests. I am here for any questions. Allow me just to check for the link of the attendance so that I can share it in chat. I'll just go on mute, but I am here. Please, if you have any inquiries, please go ahead. Please wait, I'm just checking with the organizing committee to get to the link. Yeah, link is shared. I'm just pasting it here also. Please click on the link. Dear Toastmasters, please click on the link. It is shared in the chat. You can use it to register your attendance. Thank you so much for joining this meeting and joining this session. I hope it was beneficial. I have shared most of the files which I found useful in the chat. Please feel free to download them. I will also check for the needed method to share with you all the presentation. If you have clicked on the link and completed the registration, you can leave the meeting. I wish you a perfect weekend, by the way.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.